Having a main role in League is an important thing, especially if you're aiming for climbing ranked games. But a lot of people tend to change their role during playing League over and over, and it's totally fine. What is up guys, my name is Winden, and in today's video I will help you to find the role that fits you best in League of Legends. This video will be best for newer players who just came to League recently and still struggle with their choice, but also will be helpful for a lot of experienced players out there. And before we start, just know guys that you can always find me on Twitch. I stream League almost every single day. If you want to improve at League, particularly at AD carry role, or just want to have a chill time, don't be shy, come on stream and say hi. So League of Legends has 5 roles to offer. Each one of these are of course unique and it has its own value and job in its teamfights. Top laner, mid laner, jungler, support, AD carry. Let's start off with the top lane. The role value many experienced players often do not appreciate enough, and new players skip way too fast without even trying. In general, top lane is about playing 3 types of champions. Beefy ass tanks, bruisers that are in a lot of cases are agile squishy duelists, and some mage scaling champions. But again, the core part of this role is picking the most durable champion League can offer you, grab as many defensive items as you can, and prepare to eat a lot of damage in a teamfight. Again, many beginners skip this role way too fast because they want to play flashy shiny champions like Zed or Yasuo, but every smart player knows that even with the 0 attack items, tanks are still dealing as much damage as the other lanes in many games. This role is perfect for newer players because you have a solo lane to practice your champions, learn basic game mechanics, with the permission of making some mistakes during your games. Due to how bulky your average champions are, and playing with the teleport on top, you can definitely make more mistakes than you would on the other lanes. The role in teamfight is simple, be a frontline. This is crucial part about this role, because your job in a teamfight is to eat damage. Try to make enemies focus you instead of your squishy teammates. And the one thing that makes smart top laner better than the others is again taking damage wisely. You still have to dodge a lot of damage and go in only when the time is right. This way you will stay alive longer and can defend your teammates throughout the whole teamfight. But of course again, this is just a matter of practice. You can still play a lot of mages and duelist champions on top lane if you want more agile playstyle. But keep in mind, if you want to start main top lane, tanks are your first priority to master. Moving down a bit, we have a jungle role. In my opinion, one of the best roles to climb within solo queue, and the most crucial role in any early game. Now for the champions pool, here we have everything you can choose from: tanks, bruisers, assassins, mages, even some marksmen. But if we're talking about average good jungler, it has to be more like a semi-tank with a lot of CC, or an agile wall-hopping character with unique kit that are able to move fast around the map. The core part of jungler role is to find ways to get your other lanes ahead in early game and control objectives in mid to late game. Yes sir, you heard me right, not farming or stealing kills, but actually play around your lanes. You're the only person on the map that can make miracles out of nowhere. You might think this is a role for a beginner due to there is no lane opponent, so you can just farm 24/7, and guess what, you would be 200% wrong. You have to farm a lot of camps and look for opportunities to give a hand to your teammates in a need time. Try to give extra advantage for your lanes is only one problem for you. But you have to keep in mind that there is the same dude in the enemy team who's constantly moving around the map and trying to do the same stuff against your team. Again, when it comes to Dragon or Baron fights, you're the only person who has the smite in this game. Ability to secure objects. Jungle role is not forgiving. It is definitely one of the hardest but at the same time most rewarded role in League. You can either lose the game by doing nothing or win it by yourself before 15-minute mark. The variety of hard champions you can play in jungle, playstyles, jungle routes is incredibly high. If you're a super proactive player that just can't stay in one place, you're super aggressive and ready to fail a lot of games before actually get good, this is definitely the role for you. Moving down the list, we have a mid laner, one of the hardest and most important role in League. If you look at the champion pool, again it is a mess. We can play everyone here according to situation. But again, from general perspective, you will play more mages and assassin duelist type of characters here. Most of your champions will deal a tons of damage, but they will be very squishy at the same time. This role requires a ton of skill cap from player in order to perform well. You have to outfarm and outduel your opponent in the shortest lane on the map, avoid a lot of jungle pressure, try to roam a lot to help out the other lanes, especially if you play assassin type character. Your lane is perfectly settled to co-op with your jungler to make an early game ambushes, roams to other lanes, and allow you to control objectives like Dragon Herald in early mid game. This role requires high amount of skill and knowledge about the game. The role in a team fight will depend on your champion, but again, if you play assassin mage type character, you have to make no mistake in order not to die. Bottom top lane very clean and proactive in order to deliver huge damage most of your champions can offer you. This role can fit any player in League, depends on your personal playstyle and champion pool, but keep in mind that in most games you have to be hard server in early game and a big damage dealer in the mid to late game. Moving to the bottom side of the map, we have two roles remain. So let's start with the real bot lane carry. It is the support role. Support role is all about utility. You have awesome champion pool with a lot of variety in terms of providing CC in a team fights, tanking damage with beefy dudes, healing your teammates with the healers, playing aggressive with mid lane champions to smash enemy faces. Your playstyle can vary from game to game like in mid lane, but it is more to play duo with your AD carry in the bot lane. Good to note that support role is equally useful throughout the whole game, and like with the top lane, it is easily missed by a lot of newer players. On the one hand, it is very easy role to start with if you're just brand new League player, because again, while you're playing duo with AD carry, you can simply rely on another person to carry your lane while you're just learning your champions and general game mechanics. But when the time goes on and you're playing in high elo ranking games, things become a bit more complicated. Let's face the truth, mid lane and AD carries cannot deal damage to other team if enemies are not in crowd control or if they are just dead. That's when support role comes into play. Your prime focus in a team fights will be priority to save your squishy team members, and or priority to control enemies with your abilities in order for your team to deliver damage they have. On the other hand, while AD carry is all about farming and controlling the wave, support is all about controlling the lane. Harass enemies while they farming, create a vision with wards in order to survive enemy jungler ganks, making creative and smart plays in order to kill enemies in lane, roam around the map and maybe help out the other lanes. Don't get yourself blind here. Support role is forgivable for newer players, but require a ton of performance and skill in order to be extra useful in your games. So it is a nice role to choose if you're looking for versatility and constant improvement in game without changing your role. Let's close it out with an AD carry role, the underdog of League of Legends and the real carry beast at the same time. As for your champion pool, it is much more easier here. Even though you have a lot of champions with unique kits and abilities, their role in the team fights is all the same: survive and deal damage. Yes sir, you heard me right, first priority is always surviving over dealing damage. The point is, all of your champions are glass cannons, so you will deal damage no matter what champions you're playing, but you will die a lot. I guess prepare to die a lot. The idea behind AD carry role is to farm throughout the whole game, and as the game goes on you will become stronger with each item you get. But the problem is, you're the least impactful team member in early game, and there will be many games when making zero big mistakes from your side will not guarantee you winning your games in a short run. Survive laning phase with a random support dude is only your first problem. But when it comes to the team fights, you have to position yourself accordingly to your team in order to survive and deal damage at the same time. So there you have it, all 5 roles in League, quick but in depth. Let's make some conclusions here. As for the easiest role for newer players, I suggest focus on playing top lane or support role. You can definitely make more mistakes and being useful at the same time. Play these while you're still learning general game mechanics, different champions, what they do and what to do against them, and building that knowledge base of yours before moving to the harder roles. As for the hardest roles, I will put mid lane jungle role due to how big the gap between your actions and reward you can get if you perform well on these. These roles definitely require decent understanding of the game roots and a lot of personal creativity combined with the grown mechanics. You get more impact in the game, but your stakes are high. Support role will be the best in terms of utility throughout any whole game, keep that in mind too. And of course you get scaling feature with AD carry role better than the others. So it's basically the best role to play in any lone game when you have access to 6 slots builds. But again, the longer the game goes on, the more stakes are getting on your shoulder. Keep in mind guys that all 5 roles are fairly important. If only one of them is performing low, the others will perform worse accordingly. There is definitely no best role in game, but the role that might fit you better. Just do not forget that you can carry any game by any role, it's just a matter of practicing your personal skill. Now after watching this video, I want you guys to think about your League experience, no matter if you only started playing League or been playing it for years. So my question for today are you enjoying playing your role, and is it really fits you? Let me know in the comments below guys, I'm very curious to hear your personal experience playing League of Legends. Thank you for watching, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.